We are live from Nubian Human in the Anacostia Arts Center in historic Anacostia, Southeast Washington, D.C., and this is the Neighborish live cast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Super Dave, a.k.a. Mr. Incredible, and with me, as always, holding it down at the end of the table is my man, 100 grand.
Oh, I missed my A.
Yeah,
I did the pre-A.
Yeah,
it was too early.
Pre-A.
Sorry.
DC's native son.
Hey.
The SC3 representative.
Hey.
Jay son. What's good, brother?
Good morning, Dave.
It's always good to see you, sir.
Likewise, man.
Did you have a good week?
Had an excellent week. And I'd like to thank you for sponsoring 7 Kids for our trip to Cedar United. Nah, but it's appreciated because we was short going into it, like night before. So you came through in the 11th hour, brother. We appreciate you.
Man, whatever. Look, so we're going to talk about that some more toward the end of the show because you definitely have more stuff coming up. We definitely need to have, support from the community.
Indeed, we do.
This is a very neighborish topic, a very neighborish situation. So where better than neighborish?
Than our own neighborhood.
Yeah, right. Talk about it and get some support. So, it's dope that you're doing what you're doing. I want to shout out to our feminine energy. She couldn't be with us today. She will be back next week. She has assured me. Shout out to, fitness guru, personal trainer, Patrice Fruitfit Jones. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we have an excellent show for you today because our guest today has been able to establish a successful business and brand based on 2 fundamental principles of economics. One is supply and demand, and the other is women be shopping. No, I'm just kidding. No.
We do.
It's true. No, the other is that there is a large amount of women and people in and around the DMV area that, like her, have an affinity for fashion and shoes. And from that, she created SoleGirl Shoe Parties, a company that, as the name implies, coordinates and facilitates the increasingly popular phenomenon of shoe parties. But she didn't stop there. She actually also opened SoleGirl Fashion Market LLC, which is not only a location to display the products she offers, but also an incubator for other small businesses, artists, and artisans to conduct and grow their businesses. The creator and curator of the SoleGirl brand, the SoleGirl herself, Shannon Thornton.
Shannon.
I didn't even know I did all that. Oh my God.
They be having notes and shit. So
hey, look, I gotta bring you out right. I gotta bring you in right. That's what I do.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Shannon, it's dope. You do a lot of stuff, and I try to research the guests to know some things about them, so that I can ask deep, personal, intricate. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I was looking into some of the things that you do. Like I told you when you came in, you're pretty dope, and I'm glad, I'm honored to be sitting beside you. And I think we're gonna have a good interview. Before we do that, though. Okay. There are a lot of things going on in the city, in the country, in the world that we need to talk about.
Oh, yeah, what's going on, Dave?
And we're going to talk about it right now. Okay. Now, we haven't in a while talked about the coronavirus, COVID-19. But
we back now?
Well, I did want to, since it's become more prevalent now, since, that dude has it, and, that's, we don't really talk about Trump here because he gets too much attention already, but I would say that dude has it. But it's been more prevalent in the news and stuff.
Damn, so I just thought about how close the election is.
Yeah. It's
wow.
like 20-some days away.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah.
How convenient.
If that.
Yeah, it's very convenient, that whole situation. But I did want to talk a little bit about how, up until the point when that dude got it, the news wasn't even really, like, it was still on the news, but it wasn't like the top story. They weren't really talking about it. And, even though, the United States has been one of the countries that's been struggling to get a handle on the cases, and they've even had reported spikes recently. Right now, the cases in the U.S. are around 7 million, well, actually closer to 8 million, with about 215,000 deaths, and worldwide it's 37 million cases with about 1 million deaths. And so I just wanted to ask 2 questions. Jay, I know you have kids, and do you have any?
Yes, I have an 18-year-old though.
You have an 18-year-old? Oh, cool. Well, great. No.
Boy or girl?
Boy.
Mm-hmm. Man,
right.
Pretty much. Yeah. But so I just wanted to ask, I know going through our daily lives, it's prevalent with us wearing the masks and hand sanitizer, being more conscious of like washing their hands. I was kind of OCD with it already, so it's not really that new to me washing my hands. But other than that, like, is it still at the forefront of your mind? Like, as much as it was maybe in March or, at different times at the peak in the summer months and things, is it still something that you think about? And should it be still something that we, constantly think about and it's at the forefront of our minds?
You looked at me, Shannon.
Oh, no, because I thought he was talking to you, but...
He's talking to both of us.
Oh, okay.
I'll answer first.
We can do ladies
but
first.
We definitely want your
opinion.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's something that should still be on your mind. I have a market every Saturday, so everyone has to wear a mask. We do the hand sanitizer 6 feet apart. If somebody coughs, we turn around looking at them like they're crazy. So I mean, we still saying shills out here.
Shills.
Man, you really from DC? You from DC?
I'm from Maryland, from PG County.
Okay, pretty girl county.
DC like, he said pretty girl county.
Yeah,
that's true. But
I know, right? Yeah.
So what do you think, Jay? I know, a lot of your routines and stuff, not really changed because you were pretty conscious about, health and safety and things. But
yeah, I mean,
is it still at the forefront of your mind? Are you still thinking about it?
It's at the forefront of my mind, yes, because of the general public's awareness level of it. Right. So I'm not really like if it was, So to answer your question, yes, it still is at the front of my mind because, as you know, I do a lot of work with youth. Right. So I have people's children with me all the time. And so, we are in the process of incorporating our business. And so we have to get to the point where we have to have like screening. So same thing. We have masks on duty, hand sanitizer. We got the little temperature joint to make sure, all of the kids involved in our program are all right and levels are cool. So, yeah, I mean, I just, not necessarily for COVID, just in general, just trying to make sure my family and my community, we always conscious of our immune systems and our health, regardless of the COVID situation. But, yeah, definitely due to the COVID, we definitely take, big precautions.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just for me, I think it's still such a scary thing, and then it's so many unknowns about the whole situation. Even though they seem to be trying to get a handle on it, it's still a lot of question marks of just what it actually does to you specifically. I mean, we know it's very dangerous and. It has killed some people, so that in and of itself just makes it something that, I try to think about and make sure I'm being precautious or taking precautions. It's being cautious. And
there you go. The H-U.
I had to straighten it out. But at all times.
You Howard too?
Yes.
Oh.
I did not know that one.
Yeah.
Mary, why you didn't tell me? Anyway, but I'd have had the Howard sweatshirt on. But yeah, so... I did want to talk a little bit about October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. We talked about it a little bit last week, but I wanted to go into more detail about it. And everybody kind of talks about, or introduces it and talks about it in a certain way. So I was kind of looking for a specific angle, to
What'd you come up with in your notes, Dave?
Well, I mean, I just started whenever I have an issue thinking of something like that. I start with myself, with my personal situation. And
you had to slap somebody again, Dave?
Come on, man. It's an inappropriate joke for the context. But anyway.
Sorry.
So, no, I just start with the type of person I am. I've been in, my share of relationships, and some were good and some were bad. But I've never been the type of person to get physical with violently physical. I ain't physical, but no. And just wondering where that came, because it's such a foreign concept to me to even think about. Even like some of the most heated arguments I've been in with a woman, I've never, I've been like, I should punch her in the face, anything.
You never felt like that?
Well, let me.
About to say, but let's expose these lies now.
You might have felt that way, but you never acted on it.
Yeah, and it was never to the point where I would act on it.
Right.
So I would say I never was like, never got to the point where I would act on it. So, and I thought about like where that came from, and I feel like for me, I can attribute it to my parents, like having good examples of healthy relationships. Like I can remember my parents, there was always a sense of love and connection there, but they did have, any people, I always say, the increased level of interaction is always going to breed some kind of disagreement at the very least, just because you're different people. But how you handle that, and is a huge indication of your personality, of who you are as a person. So they've argued to a certain extent. Like sometimes they had heated arguments, but it never came to that point. And so I wanted to talk to you, and it's good to know that you have a son. I want to talk to you about having kids, and is there anything specific that you try to do or say to your kids to try to keep them from becoming that, or to get them to understand that violence isn't the answer, and that there are better ways to handle situations, especially dealing with the opposite sex or your partner, whoever that may be?
Shoot. Okay, so as soon as you said that, I was like, shoot, I used to pop the mess out of my son, so I don't know. No, I've always taught my son, to keep your hands to yourself, and just try to control your emotions. And I have an emotional cancer, so So just telling him to try to talk things out, or if you feel like you are at that point where you just are in a rage, just walk away. Right. It's just better just to walk away from certain situations. So I think I've raised a pretty good young man. So he's cool. It's cool.
All right, yeah, Jay.
Yeah, what's the question, Dave?
Well, is there anything specific that you say or do with your children to try to ensure that they understand that, first of all, domestic violence isn't cool, but also, there are better ways to handle conflict than violence in most situations, especially when dealing with your partner?
Well, my kids ain't really old enough to have a partner, but
right.
But there was a situation where there was this girl was bullying my son.
Okay.
And I didn't know how to handle it because, I told him, before this situation, like, yo, if somebody put their hands on you, knock their ass out. Like, because he was in school. And I was like, don't worry about getting in trouble at school. Let me handle that. But I was like, you can't let nobody, put their hands on you because it's like a test to see how much further they'll be able to go with you in the future. And so it's just like, we was at a video shoot. And this girl who was bigger than him, who's actually my friend's daughter, kept bothering him, kept putting her hands on him. And it's like, he's like, yo, daddy, you said if anybody hits me or keeps putting their hands on me, I got to defend myself. But he was like, it's her though. And I was just like, damn. I didn't know what to do because she's bigger than him. And she's punking him. But he's not willingly being punked. He didn't know what to do because it was a girl.
Right.
And so he came to me. He was like, yo, what do I do? I was like, just leave her alone. Just be away from her. But he was basically like, but that's making me like a punk. Cause I'm not scared. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you told me to defend myself, and she keeps doing it. She's not stopping. So it's like, how else do I get her to stop?
Right.
Other than, she keeps hitting me, I'm going to hit her back because you told me to. And so I just removed him from the situation. I put him in another room. But I'm still confused as to, because, to be honest, I wanted him to beat her ass because she was bigger than him, and she was assuming.
Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
She was assuming that he couldn't do nothing because he wouldn't react.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, I didn't, but I removed him. I didn't let him defend himself. But if I wasn't there, to be honest, I think he should have beat her ass.
I feel like
to be honest.
That's the hard part, because I think just in general, parents need to teach their kids to keep their hands to themselves.
Right, and that's the problem. I know.
With, especially with little girls, no, don't do the love taps. Keep your hands to yourself, because we raise our sons not to hit daughters, but then to hit girls.
Right.
But there are some guys there are some kids who will knock a little girl out. So just keep your, I just think it's important to also teach your daughters to not hit on men.
Yeah, because I felt that was a parent issue. Because my son, he did the right thing.
Right.
Because I told him, whoever hits you, you hit that, try to hurt them. because he been in a fight before. And I was like, but it was a boy. Then the mom came to me, like, well, why your son, dude? I was like, yo, your son started a fight with my son. Yeah, I've just trained my son how to fight.
To defend himself.
Yeah, right. And it's like, that's what happened. Now you coming to me talking about like, oh, well, he hit him too hard. Like, ain't no hard or soft. Like, right. He's defending himself because your son started a fight with him. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I'm like, in the situation with my son and the little girl, like, to be completely honest, I wish he would have beat her ass. But it's like he did the right thing. He came to me, said what was happening. I removed him, put him in another room, which I shouldn't have to because he wasn't even doing nothing. But he got, I guess, reprimanded in a sense where he had to be removed from the action, not because of anything that he did. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like it wasn't fair to him. And, you know what I'm saying, the girl was bigger than him. She kept bothering him. He kept asking her to stop. He came to get his parent. So he did all of the right things he's supposed to do. So I'm like, after that, if you keep bothering him, you need to get your ass whooped. So if your parents aren't going to acknowledge it, my son will acknowledge the wrongdoing in your daughter's behavior.
How old?
At the time, because my son's 8 now, so this was like, he was only like 4 or 5 years old, and the girl was like 6.
So what made you not want to go to her parents?
Well, because her mom is real mean. Oh, like, her mom is real mean.
So she just doing what she see at home, pretty much.
I don't know all that.
Okay. I don't want. That's pretty much what kids, you know, at that age, they're pretty much emulating what they see.
Yeah, right? So it's like I didn't know what to do because the mother and the father was there, and the father I'm real good friends with. But since the mother was there, if she would have saw anybody even talking to her daughter, she would have probably flipped out, not knowing that her daughter is like causing all this. So it's like it was a weird situation, because even if I would have went to the mother and told, like, she would have probably took it a certain, like, my daughter ain't blah blah. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I just removed my son, put him in another room, gave him his little tablet, like, just stay right here for right now until we finish, then we gonna go home. But these are scenarios, you know, and then if something would have happened, everybody would have been pointing the finger at my son, not knowing all of the circumstance or not surrounding.
Even maybe not even really caring.
Right, you know? Exactly. It's like, oh, he hit a girl. It's like, you know, so it's weird out here in these streets, man.
It's definitely, and that's why I'm so, you know, I don't have any kids, so it's just fascinating to kind of get, you know, the perspective of parents and how that can sometimes even change your perspective on certain things, just seeing it through the eyes of your kids and how they grow and progress. And so yeah, man, I appreciate you guys' input on that. I want to say before we go any further that if there's anyone that you know, or if you're in an abusive situation, you want to make sure that you reach out and you know, get some help. There have been statistics that have come out recently saying that due to the pandemic situation, that domestic violence has been a serious issue, just because people who would have regularly been able to go to school or work are now at home, you know, on a more regular basis with their abusers. And so that's definitely a tough situation. I did get a few numbers of different places. Of course, in D.C., well, first of all, if it's an emergency situation, you always want to, you know, dial 911, of course, but D.C. also has 311 for non-emergency situations. You can speak to domestic violence coordinators through that number. And they also have D.C. Safe, which is an organization that ensures the safety and education of survivors of domestic violence. And you can reach them through dcsafe.org. In Maryland, there's the Maryland Network Against Domestic Violence, MNADV, and they have their website, mnadv.org, and also their hotline, which is 1-800-MD-HELPS, and that's 1-800-634-3577. And in Virginia, they have the Office for Women in Domestic Violence and Sexual Abuse Services, and you can reach them through 703-324-5730. And nationally, of course, they have hotlines, and they actually have a text line nationally where you can text the word home to 741-741, and someone will text you back and be able to help you. We're going to have to do something that's unprecedented on this show. We're going to have to take an intermission.
What?
Because my battery is about to die,
and
I don't have my plug. And so
You got to make a call?
I got to make a call or either
Are we strictly on my live now?
Yeah, for about 5 minutes. And,
damn. You was like, we're probably not going to need it.
Yeah, I was like,
the
battery lasts a long time, but apparently with everything that's running, it's like...
working overtime.
Yeah, so right now it's saying I have 4 minutes of battery left. And I was like, I better say something before everything just cuts off. So stay with us, guys. We'll be right back.
I ain't going nowhere. We're not going nowhere over here. We're just going to talk shit about Dave.
Live and talk shit about me. I'm going to get my plug. And
you're going to go get it?
I'm probably going to have to. I'm going to make a
plug. Oh, Ivan's not home?
No, he's not there.
Yeah,
my brother.
What kind of, is it a regular?
Laptop you have one here?
No, I'm just saying.
Why would you ask?
No, because there might be one somewhere in the building.
Fredo might have one. Let me go see.
Oh, yeah, go check with Fredo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fredo's PC Repair and Pizza.
He was on here last week. And pizza,
yeah.
Into it. All right, so
get
we
your
shall
computer
return.
Fix. Go get a slice of pizza.
Yeah, the new link will be up to stay with us.
Yeah. So it's just us now.
Yeah, this has never happened. So ask some questions, Jay. Keep it entertaining.
Man, I don't know.
Okay.
Good luck with me.
Don't say good luck. See that? That's there. It's there.
What is it, Shannon?
Oh, shit, my battery low too.
See, look, everybody.
You got a plug? Because we have a certain protector.
No, I had 20%. I should be
okay, you should be good. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Fredo ain't even open.
Right. Oh, it's a holiday.
SNL. Oh, you want to talk about SNL? Did you see Saturday Night Live?
I did not.
Did you hear about Bill Burr's monologue, opening monologue?
No.
Oh, so where should we go with this, Aaron? Aaron's our only viewer. You saw her. I know you liked it, Aaron.
I did not, and I said I wanted to watch it, especially after the debate. I wanted to see.
Which debate? The vice president joint or the president joint?
The vice president.
Vice president
with
joint.
The fly. I wanted to see what they want to do with it.
Did you watch that?
Yes, I did see the debate.
So you saw the debate. What are your thoughts on the debate? I didn't see it, so.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man. How much time we have? Oh, my God. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the debate?
Yeah. Really?
I mean, because it's a lot.
It was that much? Okay.
I mean, to me it was. Mike Pence didn't answer any of the questions, and then I think I'll just some of the little pinpoints I found from it.
Okay.
I know. Okay, so overall, the debate really didn't sway you one way or another. Like, it wasn't anything, like, if you were voting for Trump, you're going to still vote for him.
Right.
If you were in the middle, you still don't know who the hell you're going to vote for, because it wasn't anything that was said that made you choose one or the other.
So what was it about? What was the gist?
The gist of it, they talked about the coronavirus, the handling of it. One of the things I felt that Kamala could have shined is when Mike Pence brought up the work that she did.
Like all the niggas she locks up? Did he mention all of that? Like how many black people, lives she ruined?
So she mentioned, so he did mention that. But the way she could have shined is, first of all, I understand she did lock up a lot of black people.
Oh, and she didn't indict a lot of police officers that killed black people too. She got them off. Like, everybody's on Daniel Cameron, like, oh, he's terrible. But I was like, Kamala Harris has done this like 6 or 7 times. Like, let off officers that killed black people, but no one's like holding her accountable. I guess because it ain't like happening right now. But I mean, that was her job. Like, she was the DA, and she was like intense with it. Like, I didn't know she was black till I saw her. I was like, oh, that's a black woman doing all that shit to us? And it's like, wow. And everybody's like on Daniel Cameron's, line. But I was like, yo, she was 30 times worse than him. But I didn't see the debate, so for obvious reasons, I ain't really trying to.
Well, I thought that would have been, and he brought it up. I thought that would have been her time to shine, to kind of explain.
Explain what?
Explain the work that she's done in California.
Well, I guess everybody knows. Well, I guess everybody doesn't know. Well, the people who do know the work she's done, it's like, yo, you're horrible. And the people who don't know the work she's done are like, yeah, please explain. I I guess my point being, to your point, is like, I know why she wouldn't explain that, because it's horrible. Like, why would she go into depth about her work when all of her work was basically incarcerating black people and letting off officers who murdered black people? Like, that was the gist of her career as DA. I know she's had a couple of other positions, but as the DA, like, she has a well-known track record for people who study political science and study, politics, especially in that region in the California area. Like, everybody know, like, she's well known for that, which is why I thought she was a white woman. And then when I saw her, I was like, oh, she's black. Like, oh my God, like, it's like, holy shit. Hold on, we got some comments. So she's saying it was her job and she did it well. Sorry, y'all. Which is true. Like, yeah, the district attorney, like, yeah, in every state basically is to lock niggas up. Because, the country runs off of that.
So not necessarily that, but okay, so if we are dealing with violent crimes, like, I feel like her bill was, I feel like people take pieces of the bill or the pieces of what she did instead of looking at the entire work. Like, if it cut down on crime or it cut down on the violence, then...
Well, that's what Pence was saying, because I saw the clip of him asking her that, and he mentioned that. He was like, all the work you've done, it didn't change the numbers, it didn't change the communities, it made the communities worse. And that was him talking, so and that's just the only clip. And The Fly, which was the star of the debate.
Right.
But that's the only bit I saw was him asking her about her career and her accomplishments, and giving the stats like, yo, all of your work did horrible things for your own community. Like, how do you feel about that? And then she was just like, well, that's what Aaron's saying. Like, well, it was my job. I did it well. Sorry. And so it's like, so should Daniel Cameron be viewed on his whole career? Because everybody's holding him accountable for the Breonna Taylor case. Whereas though Kamala had 6 or 7 cases like that, where she should have been dragged by the black community by, letting police officers off that murdered black people. And, so I'm just saying Daniel Cameron should get the same love. Like, yeah, this is just one thing that he's done. It's a horrible thing too, but she's done, half a dozen horrible instances on the same level as the Breonna Taylor case. So it's like, I don't understand the contradictions. Man, I won't, it's confusing to me for black people. Because she's done some horrible stuff. And, and with Biden, who actually wrote the crime bill. Like, he's the author of it. And that put...
Okay, so, but you speak about Daniel, and then you speak about Biden. Like, at what point do we stop looking at a person's past? Like, why can we not believe that people can change? Because if that was the case, then we wouldn't have... so why can't we not believe that people can change, people's views can change? Like, I'm sure there are men who don't feel that women should be in position of power, but over time, your feelings have to change. For a long time, as far as gay rights and people being able to get married. We came up in I came up in a time where my uncles view gay men very harshly. So over time, your views can change. Like, you can be accepted.
So is that how you feel about Kamala? Like, even though she's done all these horrible things, you think she's completely different now, married to that white man?
I believe it's possible. I believe it's possible.
All right. You let Dave back in with the cord. Well, if that's the case, then Daniel Cameron can change too, right?
I don't hold, like, I haven't seen, I don't know, maybe not on my feed, but I haven't seen anybody judging him.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I know Megan the Male Horse put it on her back screen on Saturday Night Live, like Daniel Cameron should be held accountable and whatever. So it's like, I've seen it on my feed, people holding Daniel Cameron accountable for... Yeah, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, I don't care about none of these people and nothing that's going on like that because I view this country and these representatives of these countries all the same anyway. It's just good banter till Dave gets back.
Is it good banter though? No.
Well, it was a healthy discussion.
What was the discussion?
Hold on. Change for Biden works because it was years ago. That Breonna Taylor dude gets no pass. That's today. But what about Kamala? What about all of the niggas she got locked up and all of the police officers she let off for killing black people? Like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't care. I don't have a position in this. I'm just talking.
Do you not now?
I don't. I really don't. Like, I don't. Well, I do have a position, but it's solid. It just stays one line. There's no contemplation. There's no debate. I kind of feel the way. Yeah, it is what it is. But I understand a lot of people, it's on people's emotions. And, yeah, I'm sorry for you people for struggling with all this shit. I'm empathetic.
All right, so give me 2 seconds and we'll start the second half.
Oh, we got the second half coming. Hey, Aaron, this nigga Dave's computer died. He had to stop the whole show.
We've never done this before.
You're the
first. We may do intermissions on every show. Stop and have some drinks and.
Oh yeah.
She's like, oh yeah.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Right, yeah. 11:30 is 5 o'clock in Bangladesh, I believe, is where it is.
Oh, but Aaron brought up. I guess we'll wait till we go back on live. But Aaron brought up Bill Burr's monologue.
Oh yeah, it was weird.
I thought it was great. I love Bill Burr. I studied Bill Burr before he got the SNL.
It's people, joint. It's certain people like. You gotta know your crowd, and I mean, like or do what you do, I guess, and not care. But
bro, I think it worked. I think he's a genius. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
Do that there and still have it work.
He went in on them white women. When the crowd of white women, I was like, go ahead, Bill.
And that's he's married to a black woman.
Yeah, I know. I don't approve of that. Him or Gary Owen.
You don't approve of him being married to a black woman?
Well, because Gary Owen. Because not so much Bill Burr.
Because he's funny.
No, because he doesn't seem as comfortable going on black people because of his black wife. He still teeters the line. Like Gary Owen feels like he has a pass, which he doesn't.
Only in comedy. I don't think if you saw him in real life, he would say any of the stuff that he said. I think that he said it.
Still, that's what I'm saying. It's like because he is married to a black woman, I feel that he has a pass and he puts his comfortability in his sets.
Gary Owen?
Yeah.
I know I feel like he gets hell on Instagram. I remember when
I think he should get hell in the streets.
I think when the Nick Cannon thing happened, he said, "Oh, so now I can be the host of Wild 'N Out." And black people went in on him like, "How dare you? This just happened."
See how comfortable he is? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Bill Burr is that comfortable.
Too hard to.
I think
that's what I'm saying. That's the point, Dave. He's like, well, I'm married to this black woman. I can be kind of outlandish with black culture because this is like my stamp. It's like, nah, bro, that ain't your stamp.
I just don't think Gary Owen is
like that. I have one black friend thing.
Nah, I think he's engulfed in black culture. It's not saying that he doesn't know the culture. I think I think he has like a black lady wife too. But what I'm saying is, I think his set is too comfortable. Like, you aren't black, bro. Like, you know our culture well. You got a black wife, but you are not black, and he acts like that, and I don't like it. I don't like that. That's why I can accept Bill Burr, because Bill Burr's like, yo, I got this black wife, and I know black culture very well, but I also have studied white culture very well. So I can tell you the contradictions.
Oh, you back, Dave?
We're back.
Hey, Dave's back
from our intermission. It's so good to be back. We had to take a brief intermission. While we were gone, apparently Jay and Shannon discussed the mysteries of the universe. What did y'all come up with?
Yeah,
about,
man.
Mars and Jupiter?
So, the first thing about Mars and Jupiter, we talked about the debate, the vice presidential debate with the fly and the other two people involved. And then we went into Bill Burr.
You know what's messed up is I was gonna I was telling Mary this. I was gonna, for Halloween, because I'm trying.
You gonna be the fly?
Well, I was gonna trying to keep a certain level of normalcy for my nephew because he's dealing with the whole thing. It's like let's do some Halloween stuff. So before the fly thing even happened, I've always tried to come up with clever costumes. So I was gonna have like a fly mask and a Superman shirt, and I was gonna be Superfly. And now I know everybody's gonna do the fly thing, so I don't want to do it anymore.
Aaron, do you hear this shit?
But anyway, he's a hater. I think that's a pretty cool idea. But anyway, but yeah, the whole situation was pretty funny. The interwebs went in.
Yeah.
Had a good time with that whole situation. Some of the memes were hilarious. And I appreciate the interwebs for that. Do you think I think they, in some situations, I'm trying to think of once, but something happened this week, and I was like, see, they go too far sometimes. I can't think of what it was, though.
You got all these notes, Dave, and you can't think of shit?
Well, I mean, this is something we spitballing. We didn't come up with this. This was just to fill the time. But speaking of that, let's get back to the notes. So
back to the notes.
I do want to talk about, before we get into this interview, I do want to talk about the Greenwood Bank, founded by Bounce TV founder Ryan Glover and rapper activist Killer Mike, with a leadership team that includes former Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young. The Greenwood Bank unveiled their new platform on Thursday after raising more than $3 million in seed money in June. Interest in these and other black-owned businesses has spiked over the past few months. Now, they're getting a lot of support from Americans of all walks of life, with a substantial boost from the corporate world. The bank isn't even set to open officially until January, but they launched their website this past Thursday, and it was a huge success, with a waiting list to open accounts that puts their bank already in the tens of thousands of account assets. So that's pretty dope. I feel like is this part of the awakening, the black awakening of utilizing the black dollar and becoming more that you guys have seen having black-owned businesses that has been progressively increasing, and even more now with a lot of the efforts that have been going on. Do you feel like this is a step in the right direction?
Yes, I do. I mean, now is our time. Now is our time, and I think that's amazing. Like we need. I mean, we do have black banks, but I think we definitely need more, and they need to be more visible.
More visible, and I think more. So, I worked for about 3 years. Well,
Slave Dave.
Years. Hold on, calm down. We're not gonna. Anyway, I worked for Industrial Bank.
Okay.
Which is,
that's my bank.
Area. That's your bank?
Mm-hmm.
Are you bank there? I work for them. I saw the inner workings, and I support, the idea of the black-owned business and having a financial institution that caters, or is more specifically catered to.
I got a slave bank too, though.
But just working there and being in that environment and understanding the level, because to a certain extent, and like I said, I support that they are a black-owned business, and shout out to them. I'm not going to even go into a lot of the stuff, but
because I could go into a lot of stuff about that bank too, but it's not wise. We don't do that here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you about all the shit once we get off air, Dave. But we're not going to do that live.
Yeah. So shout out to the Greenwood Bank, though. Ryan Glover and Killer Mike and their board of directors and all that. It's fully black owned and operated.
How'd they get their funding though, bro?
They support from the different areas of corporate
America. Yeah, still some question marks up in that joint.
So you say you wouldn't bank with them?
I don't.
Because where did Industrial Bank get their funding?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but we talking about Greenwood Bank.
So
I know Killer Mike has an affinity for Jews.
When you say an affinity for Jews?
Yeah, I mean those his partners.
Like I know Shannon has an affinity for shoes.
Yeah, the same line.
I just say that because it rhymes. But anyway.
Super. Moving on.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Just real quick, did the Lakers win everything?
Yes,
they did.
Shout out to LeBron.
I'm not a big
and AD
basketball person.
And Rondo.
Crying over the Washington football team while y'all was celebrating.
They suck.
Do they really?
You know they do. Didn't you watch the game?
I wasn't aware when I was crying.
You was aware for the last 40 years. You've been aware.
It's hard being a Washington football team. That's the name?
Yes, suck.
That's all right.
It's hard.
That's
different
all right.
Names,
I don't even have anything anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But we don't have that bad name anymore, so how about that? But yeah, let's talk about LeBron and the Lakers. And they said they did it for Kobe, and it felt, But how'd it feel, Jay? You watched the games, right?
I'm a LeBron fan, man. So, yeah, I watched every game.
Are you a Laker fan, though?
No, I'm not a Laker fan.
But you're a LeBron fan?
Definitely a LeBron fan.
Okay, so how did you feel about the victorious
I thought he deserved it. I thought he deserved it. He played hard. Like, he played. This is 17th year in the league, and he's still dominating, like, at 35 years old. Like, he's still hands down the best basketball player in the league right now. And it's 17th year. And it's like a lot of people hate on him, but he an inspiration to me. Like, he don't be getting injured. Like, you know what I'm saying? He the oldest dude on his team. Like, he shows leadership. And it wasn't easy. Miami tough. Like, they was tough. Like, the whole playoffs was tough. They from Portland.
Not that tough.
Nah, Jimmy was giving them buckets.
I mean, he was, but I felt like he was the only one that was playing hard.
Well, keep in mind, Bam was hurt, and Goran Dragic was hurt. Like, that's two of their best. Like, and as you know, Miami is a team. They don't have like a superstar or two superstars to rely on. Like, they have to be a team every game. Right. And so for two of their starters, not role players, to go out, that kind of hurts them tremendously because of how they function as a team. So, and just being a ball player, man, it's tough to win like that. It's tough to win games, man. And Miami was playing good defense. And everybody in every series the Lakers played was tough. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron put in work, man, in his 17th year in the league. Got his 4th championship, 4th finals MVP, you know what I'm saying, with his 3rd team. So that's impressive, man. So shout out to them and the Lakers, even though I ain't a Lakers fan,
but you are a LeBron fan.
And I'm a good basketball fan. Like, I am content with whoever plays the best. Even with my team lost. My team lost to the Heat. My team is the Celtics. But I was like, we played well. You know what I'm saying? We played well. They were the better team. And I can salute that. I only get upset. It's like, oh, we weren't playing. We were slacking on defense. We wasn't cutting. Our energy was down. We weren't playing right. But we were playing on all cylinders, and they were just a better team than us. So that's what I can respect. And that's what I feel about LeBron's championship. Is that like, yo, he earned it. He played hard. He conditioned himself well. He was a good teammate. He was a good player, coach, you know what I'm saying, on the floor. He switched to being a point guard from being a forward his whole career and was able to, you know what I'm saying, work out the kinks and come away with a championship. So he deserves credit for that.
Definitely.
I definitely think this was one of the better playoffs. I don't know if it was the bubble.
The bubble had them playing hard. They was like playing street ball out there. Yeah, they was balling in the bubble.
This is probably one of the best playoffs I've seen in a long time.
Because you see how people be trying to say, like, oh, it don't count because it was in the bubble. But I was like, in actuality, they was playing a bit harder than in the bubble. Because it wasn't all that glitz and glam. So it was just them, their coaches.
The lack of all the, so many eyes on them.
Yeah, it was just them, their coaches and their trainers and the employees. And it's like, here's a basketball, go at it.
Go have fun.
And they went at it.
Well, so that's dope. And the Lakers came out triumphant. Shout out to LeBron.
Absolutely.
For being goofy looking, but he's a really good basketball. On the last one.
He's a great basketball player. I just wish he didn't have the theatrics, but other than that, I do.
You don't like the theatrics? Theatrics get you.
He a little floppy, but who ain't? Who ain't? It's the league because you can get calls that way. Like you could get 50% of those calls. If you just flop, you'll get half those calls. And so it's a science to it. So, I don't unite with it, but I understand it.
And that's all that they ask, that you just understand them.
Yeah, exactly, man.
But anyway, so I definitely want to get into this interview.
Okay.
With Miss the SoleGirl.
Really? That's it? The SoleGirl?
Well, no. I added the D
there
to
it
it.
is.
I added the D to it. But so where did because soul is of course SOLE, as in soul.
Oh, the sun. Oh, that's SOL. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you well, that's no, yes, SOL. But yeah, as in the sole of a shoe, so it's a shoe.
Oh, some shoe
situation.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. So where did you get the idea for that name?
Actually, let me see. A friend of mine, I was playing with some names for what I wanted to do, and I was telling a group of friends, I want us to do a traveling shoe party. They have Tupperware, Mary Kay. I want to do shoes because I love shoes. And so my friend was like, SoleGirl, you SoleGirl. And I said SoleGirl shoe party, and it stuck. And
that's
11
dope.
years later, here we go.
So the shoe party. Oh, before we go any further, Mary said somebody this is a question for Jay real quick. Somebody on your feed, Shannon, wants to know if the art behind us is for sale.
Yes. The artist's name is James Flowers.
Well, the you talk and are they talking about
not the braid, not the braided
white,
joint, no.
Or the ones in the corner, because the ones in the corner are for sale. The black and white is not.
If it's on my feed, it has to be the black and white one because I think that's the only one you can see.
Well, if you got it's not for sale in the store, but if you got the right price, we'll let it go. You gonna come out some stacks though to let that one go because that's part of the store.
It's part of the ambiance, and it's also part of our show. That's why we do it right here because. That's a very neighborish feel, but yeah, I'm sorry.
Would they be saying serious inquiries only?
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to go back a little bit and ask you when you were younger, and people would ask you, "What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do with your life?" What was your answer? Do you remember? And if you don't remember, it's cool. I know that's kind of a put you on the spot question.
I wanted to be a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, Dave. I got a question.
Sure.
She's from Pretty Girl County. What high school you went to?
Fairmont Heights.
Went to Fairmont Heights. Okay. All right.
Do you know? No, I'm just playing.
I know that was my thought. That's all I got for right now. I'm gonna interject again soon, Dave. Go ahead.
Okay, and that's a good segue into the next question. When you started your businesses, you have a boutique in Bowie?
I have a store front in Clinton, Maryland.
The storefront in Clinton. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so being from Fairmont Heights and having a storefront in Clinton, how important was it when you decided to start your business to have that location physically in this area?
Let's see. Okay,
and was it important, or you just like?
So let me say this. When I first started my business, okay, so let's go back to the other question you asked me. So yes, I did want to be a doctor, but I remember my dad. I was probably 9th grade, 10th grade, and my dad was stationed in Oklahoma, and he sent me a message, and he was like, "When you get a chance, look up Black Wall Street." I was like, okay, so I looked it up, and I was just so intrigued with what they had, what they built, and just to see it go down the way that it did. Yeah, so that was something I always kind of, from that point on, I was like, I want to build a Black Wall Street in PG County. Wow. So now to answer the question that you just asked me, I wanted a storefront, but I never thought I could afford a storefront.
Okay.
And I still can't afford a storefront. However, it kind of fell in my lap because I was doing these pop-ups on Brown Station Road in PG County. If you guys are familiar with the Amish market.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so when I do my events, I have 8 to 10 Black-owned businesses. Nice. I have a young lady who makes waffle batter. I have Creative Clutches who does clothing and handbags. I have DDW Gems that does paparazzi, Never Regular Creations, who creates stuff, does waist beads, have perfume chick. So I had all these different small businesses in one location. Right. Real estate agents saw me and said, "Hey, you need to do this. I'm gonna find you a place." She found me a place. They were trying to sublease because they were trying to get out of it. Got a really good deal, and my location in Clinton just fell into my lap. Boom. So that's kind of how it happened.
That's dope. Then that's a pure indication of or personification of the idea that once you set your mind to something, once you decide that something's going to happen, the universe will move out of your way.
That's how I do, Dave. Yeah, go ahead. Look at you being philosophical and shit. Get out of here, Dave. Go on now.
It's actually metaphysical, but
for real?
I don't.
Okay, my bad.
But that's pretty dope. And to be inspired, like I think you just got like 57 cool points with Jay Son to say that your inspiration was Black Wall Street.
I have another question based on that. All right. Yeah. Since you did since your pop still alive?
Yes.
Shout out to your pop. So I have one question for you. Yes. What's the one thing? This goes to you too, Dave. I think you know the answer.
Yeah.
What's the one thing Black Wall Street did not have?
Oh shoot. Okay.
It's to people on my live too. If you know the
They
answer.
probably know.
They had doctors. They had lawyers. They had teachers.
And this is only because on this show we're all about
Learning.
resolution and we're solution based people here. That's why we do this show.
They had a bank.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know.
Dave.
They didn't have strip clubs.
Don't really.
Well,
I'm sorry. No.
Well,
they didn't.
I think they had brothels.
Is that that's still not, well.
I mean, you could go get you some.
I'm sure somewhere.
But that's not the answer.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I interject with comedic relief and then.
So just for future
reference,
reference, people and Shannon,
Clothing, shoes.
they did not have an army.
A military to protect what they had.
Correct.
And that's what
Okay.
You
left
build
them
up this
vulnerable.
$1 million industry. How do you protect it? Especially when there's civil unrest amongst the dingy whites.
The others. I was trying to save it and say others. He still went forward. He
Why
thought
went with
he was gonna
Dave?
do
I went with
that.
Dave's quote, the dingy whites.
Okay. All right.
Just think about it. If we build up this great infrastructure, because it's happening again.
Right.
We have a whole bunch of black businesses popping up, thriving,
Yes.
organizing and mobilizing ourselves and creating networks with each other. And there are members amongst our society the same way in 1921
Who don't want to see
that
us win.
felt threatened by that.
Right.
And so what do we lack?
An army.
A way to protect it.
But I feel like I don't know. Like I feel like. I mean, you're right. I do. Feel
I know.
Like you see, okay. So I don't know on your feed, but I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people taking up
Arms.
arms
Absolutely.
classes.
Exactly.
And stuff.
Salute.
So, I mean, it's
Salute.
coming. It's coming.
That's all I'm saying.
coming.
If we're gonna have this topic and have this discussion, this just needs to be in the discussion also.
Yes,
That's
I
all
agree.
I'm saying.
But you're definitely
Jay's
seeing people taking up classes, and then you're
Yep.
also seeing black-owned couples who are the owners of the classes, so that so that they can kind of help.
Because I know there's a
what you need to do.
black-owned joint right here in PG. I think it's called the Wilson Armory. I think it's a couple brothers that they have their own. It's a couple others too, but that's just the one I know about. But I'm just saying we need to incorporate all that too. Be getting these businesses and getting
coming.
these schools and getting these banks and getting these grocery stores and getting all these things popping off again. You got to realize there's the undercurrent of energy who feels offended and threatened by those movements. So keep all that in mind as we're thriving, as we're prospering, as we are galvanizing ourselves and our families. Keep that in mind.
My friend Nate said we need a militia. Armies are run by the central government.
Well, I mean, I feel you, brother, but my point is, like, we would run and control. So it would be run by a central government, but it would be our central government when we're governing ourselves. So, but I agree. So militia, army, whatever the semantics is, we just need to protect. We need to protect our assets because we are coming of age again.
Right.
And so we got to be mindful of what happened to us in the past.
And
so
since Shannon is going to be the president of the new
exactly.
Black Wall Street,
So I need to
she
put
just
this
let
in
her
her
know.
ear, put
Yeah,
this bug
get
in her
it
ear.
there.
So like, don't forget about how they bombed us the last time.
And she know because her father made a research.
Exactly. So shout out to your pops. Yeah.
So getting back to
Hey, Daddy.
right. Hey. So so when did you recognize like that you had an interest in fashion, and was it specifically shoes or through shoes, or is it all aspects of fashion?
I like all aspects of fashion, but I like shoes because no matter and this has always been my philosophy. No matter how big or small I get, my feet have never changed. So my shoe game has always been the same. I don't have to worry about trying to fit into my clothing and all that stuff. So I love shoes. And like I said, at the time when I started my business, there weren't anyone doing shoes. So, I stepped right on in.
Ooh, I got questions, Dave.
Supply and demand.
Shannon.
You got one more?
This is a real question. Okay. Like, all of them are real questions, but it's not. I'm not going left this time. Do you know in running your business, do you know of any black shoe makers like that make the shoes, not like that sell them or distribute them, but a company that makes shoes?
I have come across some on Instagram.
Okay.
So I know of a young lady, Dawn Dixon, who makes flat out soles. So she actually makes the like when women come out of their heels and they put on the little slippers. So she actually makes those, and she has like vending machines. I want to say she's based in Atlanta. So yes, I know a couple of actual designers.
Well, I guess this is an extended question.
Okay.
Like because our folks, black men and women, love shoes. Because I know dudes who are just as obsessed with shoes. Typically sneakers, but still. Shoes
they got a couple of gators in there.
Yeah, but typically shoes are a big part of our culture. From your perspective, why do you think more black people haven't taken that and be like, I'm going to make shoes? Because it's so ingrained in our culture. You would think that people be like, yo, I know my people buy shoes. Because I know one dude that makes shoes too. And he was actually on Breakfast Club and everything. But he's just one dude.
Well, okay, so I want to in this area we have people who make shoes. Okay,
yeah,
so
I feel like it's more than
I feel like there are people that make shoes. The thing is, we don't want to pay the price that they charge, because
that's true.
It's to I feel like not only shoes but to design anything, making it from the ground up. It costs a lot of money, and we don't want to spend that money it takes to get that really, really nice piece of art.
Yeah, because the dude that I know that makes shoes, like his joint's like $500.
Right, right. And people don't want to spend that money.
But they'll spend $5-6 for Louis, Gucci shoes, even J's. It's these J's I was trying to get. Them joints $660, and I was like, damn, I'm not getting those.
Right. I mean,
yet.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm going to get them, nigga.
So I just feel like we don't want to pay the same prices that we pay for the Louis and the J's. We don't want to give that money to our own because they don't have that same name as the Louboutins.
And the value that somebody else told us was valuable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas our people should have that value. We should put the value on it.
Because you mentioned gators, and I wish I had names for you guys, but there is a black man who has his own shoe line. I want to say he's in PG County. He does ties, and he does I don't know what they're called. They're not gators, but they're like dress shoes for men. So
espadrilles. No, I don't know. I don't know.
So there are we are out here designing. It's just we just not.
It's hard. Like it's a tough path. I always think about that the couple of interviews that Kanye did, back before he really snapped, when he was talking about
I wish Kanye didn't go crazy, man. Yeah. He could have been so valuable to our culture. Because he's a genius, but he went to the tipping point. And you know what it was, Dave?
What was it?
His mom passed.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of factors that pushed him.
And then he married who he married. And I think that sent him in a whole different direction.
That's true. I agree.
But we're not going to say that's we don't mental health isn't, you don't think mental health plays an issue with that?
I think that contributed to the mental health issues. But yeah, I definitely think
I agree. I do.
And he's diagnosed with bipolar, right?
Because but even if you ever seen some of the things he did prior to, even when I think his mom was the tipping point,
right?
But even prior to that, he still kind of was hot and cold in his personality. So I think he's always had the issues.
Yeah, because somebody would. But that's what I'm saying. When he lost his mom, there was nobody to be like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? So he lost that, and then he married that, and then he just. There was nobody to check him. Well, nobody can check anybody like a black mama.
Yeah.
Period.
Or a strong black woman, period.
Well, that's the same.
Shout out to Kamala Harris. But go ahead. Kamala. Am I saying it wrong? Kamala?
H-U?
Kamala? I'm just playing. Nah. Shout out to Kamala Harris. But yeah, so I say that to bring it back to
Sorry, Dave. You're not part of the joke, Dave.
Oh, okay.
No, because the conversation we were having earlier about the debate.
Yeah.
And his views on.
Oh, his views on the debate?
No, his views on Kamala.
That wasn't my views.
He's not well, we're not gonna get into that.
Thank you.
So I want to ask
more
you,
about shoes.
A lot of people say you know, you hear a lot of people talk about the difficulties of getting a business or a brand launched and off the ground. You seem to be doing very well for yourself, if I do say so myself. That was a lot of selves. But anyway, and also being a woman and a black woman starting a business, would you say that had any effect or made it more difficult for you to get your brand going and started and off the ground?
No, not really. I feel like no. I had an idea. I had something I wanted to do. I researched it. I put a lot of work, a lot of hours into it. The hardest part really is just the legal part of it.
Okay.
I think that's the hardest part. That's the most expensive part, and that's the hardest part. Just trying to get through the red tape, just to get through I think the LLC process is fine. But like if you want to get trademark, if you permits for the county or for wherever it is that you live, I think those are the hardest the hardest the obstacles that you go through in a business. Right. But other than that, I haven't had any issues. One thing I definitely said I want to tap into is in PG County under Also Brooks. I was told that she is working with making small black businesses more visible. So I'm hoping to be able to tap into some of those resources and maybe get grant money. But it's so much stuff out here for us. We just have to tap into it.
Yeah.
So
I got questions,
it's
Dave.
a lot of research.
Yeah, go ahead. You know, like Patrice, you don't have to ask my.
Well, I know you have a line of questioning, so I just try to like, all right. It's like double dutch. Like, all right, Dave, I'm about to.
Yeah, about to jump in though. You don't gotta ask to jump in.
Well, I do have to do a disclaimer. This has nothing to do with shit we're talking about.
Okay.
All right. Well, kind of, but. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
All right, so I was.
You said well, kinda. I thought you said Wakanda. I did that anyway.
Well, Wakanda too. You know, what I'm saying all that.
Anyway.
So I'm cleaning up my attic, right? So I got it quite organized, and I found my record player. I got all my old records.
Where is he going with
Watch,
this?
Come with me. It's gonna make all the sense in the world. You're gonna be like, oh, this is where it's going, right? So I found an old record, and I played it, right? And I ain't heard it since the '80s, like on record form. I've heard like the songs, but I heard it, and it was deep. And I felt nostalgic, and I could it was like a serious project, right? And so I felt the way, like it was a real spiritual experience for me. And this record or this album had never had that effect on me before, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, this record feels crazy. And it happened to be Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
Exactly, right. And I noticed you have a Purple Rain shirt and mask.
Oh, I didn't see the mask.
Right.
Oh,
so I'm like, does she share any of this sentiment that I felt listening to like the
share
record?
That sentiment too, but go ahead.
But no, I'm just saying I've heard it like all the time, like you know what I'm saying, like on the radio, on YouTube, like but hearing the record like on wax, like playing like shh.
I have the
and
record,
then you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like this was an amazing like the musicianship. And like, you know, every song like had like a frequency to it. And I was like, yo, this is bigger than like a pop hit. Like there's a lot in this. Like there's a lot of emotion and feeling, and like it's a whole bunch of human elements of these sounds that I'm hearing that I hadn't heard before. So I'm curious to know with all of your get up, like, do you
get up? Is that? She
is
a fashionista, Jason. You gonna? I'm just saying all that great stuff and then just stay up here in the side.
No, I'm just saying, like, do you have any of that sentiment about that album? Because I've noticed your mask and your shirt.
Yes. First of all, I'm a huge Prince fan. I love
we all are.
Prince. But yes, I feel like there's been times when I've even listened to Purple Rain, and like I hear it different. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, depending on the emotion or the feeling that you're having at that time, you're like, oh my gosh, like he is really singing to my soul. So yes, I think that was like a really good. That was an amazing piece of work.
Man, because it was like, what's the song? Doom 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 doom. Is it Computer Blues? But there's just so many joints that aren't hits.
Life.
Yeah, like all them joints was so deep.
Erotic
to me.
City, but that wasn't on this. I don't think Erotic City was on this album.
Nah, it's just like Take Me With You. That's the joint I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like, it's like, yo, I hadn't listened to them joints that way before. I was like, yo, these are like real deep, like just the.
And then what was you going through, Jay? You always have a lot of emotional things you?
I guess I was in I'm cleaning because that helps my personal self. Like when I clean my space, it kind of helps my personal life also. So I was going through a sense of, just trying to reorganize, and not just my space, but my mind, my spirit, just so a sense of regrouping and organizing. So that's kind of emotionally where I was at with it. But I just saw you with the mask and the shirt. I was like, and it wasn't too long ago. I was like, yo, you walked in with this joint, and I just had this emotional experience with that same album. So I was curious to ask, like, you must have some type of feeling like that too, to be wearing the shirt and the mask.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always say like Prince, Mike, and Stevie are probably the three greatest musicians of our time.
Mike wasn't a musician.
He wasn't a musician. What was he?
He's an artist. A musician plays an instrument.
Well, artists, but I mean creators.
Well, as a musician, nigga, say it right.
Creators of art.
But he played the piano.
He played a few.
When?
Mike played the
Pull
piano.
that shit up on YouTube.
Well, no, actually, I don't know if he played any instruments.
I've never seen him play
and stuff, but actually,
I think he played the piano.
You think he did?
Okay.
All right. Jay is about. If he shaved his beard, he looks just like Michael Jackson. That's
For
why
real?
he knows so much about it.
Oh my goodness.
But not like the.
Are you talking about Black Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
anyway,
take
back to the.
Back to your interview. I'm sorry.
Right. So.
Fruit Fit's on my live.
Shout out to Fruit Fit. Has COVID affected your business in any way, or how has it? Obviously, it has affected everybody's business. But what's the biggest effect that it's had on you and your businesses that you?
Okay, so when COVID hit, I had to close my store and actually stop doing my pop-up shops and my events and all the different stuff that I was doing in my shop from the middle of March to June 4th. I believe June 4th was the first Saturday I was allowed to open back up. So it definitely prevented me from being able to host the events that I was hosting. But it allowed me to kind of reinvent my business and still operate in a different way. So I started doing, still working with the small businesses that I was working with, and doing virtual type of events. So I did like a virtual auction. We would have that every Thursday, just still trying to generate money and to also let people know we're still out here. We're still small Black businesses doing our thing. So yeah, I had to reinvent myself pretty much to kind of accommodate the situation going on.
And being able to do that is always a huge a leg up in business, just because the consumer is fickle, and their wants, their needs, their thoughts change regularly, and so being able to adjust and move and keep your brand, and the same quality and the same spirit behind it, but able to kind of move with them is huge. So so glad that you're able to do that, and you have effectively. Would you say you've effectively survived so far the COVID?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
but would
hard.
You say you've
It's
effectively
hard.
survived so far?
Me, yes. Yes, so
Well,
far,
I know
yes.
Jay. I've known Jay forever. I know.
Yes,
But,
yes. So far, yes, yes. I have an amazing network of family, friends, business owners. So we've been able to pull through this thing together and just make it happen. So, yes, we survived.
That's dope. That's dope. So I don't know if you've noticed, but Jay's son and I are both males. And with that being said, your area of expertise we're not as well versed in.
Nah, speak for yourself, nigga.
But women's fashion though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
look where I work at.
But all right. So I have a few questions from a few people who submitted questions.
Put your weaknesses on me.
Well, I mean, none of your questions have been anything about you haven't helped.
We didn't get to the part yet. We didn't get to the fashion
Well,
yet.
I'm talking about the fashion now.
I'm ready. I'm ready for you.
Old married couple.
I got to do a proper. It's Shannon. Shannon. There you go. I got it now.
That's okay. Anyway.
Because I kept just saying regular Shannon, but it's like I got to give it the what's the DJ dude?
Right.
DJ.
Oh, Cannon.
Yeah.
Cannon.
Yeah. There you go.
Why'd you have to?
It's
Anyway,
just personal. Personal thing in my mind.
But anyway, so what are some of your best-selling items at this time? What would you say?
Face mask. That's the best.
Got them Purple Rain joints?
I sold out of these, but that's the crazy thing. Like, face mask is really big. But the thing is, like, my customers are still buying shoes. They're still buying
shoes.
Heels.
Never stop.
And so,
yeah, it's crazy. I don't know where they're going.
I'm going to the shoe store when I leave here.
Really? Mm-hmm. See?
Well, not to get nothing. My homeboy just owns a shoe store, and I just like going.
Hang out.
Yeah, I do. Like, honestly, yeah. To be honest, yes.
So yeah, I mean, the shoe, it hasn't stopped. What else? People are still coming in to buy dresses and outfits. People are tired of being in the house. People got all this money. I guess they tired of giving Amazon their money.
Right.
So people come in the market on Saturdays and get a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And so, do you create pieces yourself, or you just sell pieces that other people have?
I just from my line, I just sell shoes. So I handpick. I handpick items.
So you curate your
I curate
catalog.
my collection
Dope.
and sell from there. So yeah.
Okay. And so, what's your inspiration like when you're picking out shoes? Like, what really speaks to you? Is there any specific thing that you always look for when you're picking out shoes to be sold in your collection?
I try not to pick everything I like. So I do try to look at Real Housewives of
Different places.
Different
Fairmont
places.
Heights.
And so I try to look at to see what they're wearing on reality shows. I check Instagram, but normally I just like a heel. I like a peep toe. I like color. I like stuff that sparkles. So I get a lot of stuff that I like, but to kind of think outside the box, I'll look on Instagram and see what people are wearing and pick my collection that way also.
That's dope. So in the fashion world, who do you look up to? Who are some of the icons that you admire and aspire to, kind of follow in their footsteps?
I like Tracee Ellis Ross.
Okay.
I would say I love her style.
I like her too, but for a different reason.
Yeah, me too, Dave.
Anyway.
Really? Yeah, well, I mean, she's gorgeous. I love her hair. I love her look. I
like her mom too.
Diana Ross?
Yeah,
she's boss.
Yeah,
I like Diana Ross also. But I think Tracee Ellis, I think like Diana Ross is like
glam.
Mm-hmm. Like everything she wears is like really couture.
Yeah, Tracee is more functional and stylish.
Yeah.
And I think this question wasn't for me. I'm sorry.
No, but go ahead.
What you got, Jay? Because I was.
No, but go ahead.
Nah,
you really do know some stuff about.
No, I'm just saying because I like
the street dude.
Because
anyway.
she's a balance of glam and practical, and she seems to be well balanced in what to wear, what colors. You know what I'm saying? She just seems to be in the know of what's functional and glam. And it's a fine line because some people like too dressed down, then some people are too glam. So she seems to have found like
and that's why I like her.
Yeah, exactly. That's why most people. That's why she has a lot of fans because of that.
You learn something new about people every day.
I
never thought I'd ever
speak
hear
for yourself,
nigga. Say the word glam. I never thought I'd hear.
Nah, I'm big on fashion, bro. Like I'm big on it.
Right.
Because I was actually about to go into business with this dude, right, who has a line that I love and support, and I thought, because he designs clothes and stuff, like he would know, because I would be sending him texts and pictures about like the hem. Like I think the hem should be this high off the waist, and it's like the thread count. I was like, it don't feel right like on my shoulder part, so we got to rework. But he ain't know nothing I was talking about. He's like, nigga, I just do the design and send it out. I'm like, nah, nigga, I want to know the weight of the shirt. You know what I'm saying? What percentage of cotton and polyester like makes it how it feel on your skin? And he just didn't know none of the shit I was talking about. I was like, oh well, I can't. Because, he just does the design and then ships it to get done. Well, I wanna know exactly how things feel, like how it's cut, where it sits on your body.
You want to be involved in all of that.
Yeah, that ain't his MO, which I don't know. I'm like, oh, okay, I just assumed that he was.
I am baffled right now. I'm floored. I had no idea Jay-Son knew this much about it. I would have had you conduct the whole interview.
Hey, man, I told you. I was like, speak for yourself, bro. Like,
all right, look at that.
Yeah, man, I'm big on it.
Something new every day.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
So I do want to talk a little bit about the inspiration, and you spoke on it some already, but about the inspiration to open the SoleGirl fashion market and have that location as a place for businesses to thrive. Yeah, what was the inspiration behind it?
Well, what was that?
Get money.
Spoke on it already.
Get paid off this month.
Giving places, giving small businesses a place.
Right,
to thrive.
just like I said, my space is an incubator for Black businesses to thrive, and so I like hosting events.
Right.
And it's funny, I always tell people like I'm a social introvert. So like I love hosting events. I love seeing people come together. The first of every month, not only do I host adult businesses, but like the first of every month I do like a young entrepreneurs market where all the entrepreneurs are between the ages of 5 and 18. I've had belly dance classes there. I've had paint and sips. I had how old was it? Naomi is 10 years old and she's an artist. She's an award-winning artist. She was hosting her own paint and sips. Of course, it was like little sippies.
I was about to say, you inspiring the kids.
It was like a little juice box. It was little juice boxes.
Okay.
But I mean, she hosted her own. A 10-year-old hosted. I believe like a class of 15 other kids in painting.
That's dope.
So I like the idea of just bringing us together to do amazing things.
And that's the aspect of it that I really, applaud you for and wanted to make sure that we highlight. Just because, I always say the people that we try to bring on here and support and big up, for lack of a better term, are people who are doing things like that, who take the initiative, who see that there's a need. Because it takes a certain type of person to see a need and not just look at it and be like, oh, there's a need there, and then just go on with their day, but to actually take the initiative to fill that need and provide a place for, especially something that up until recently and even still now has had the level of obstacles and obstructions as Black businesses or, small businesses. To do anything to try to help that movement is huge. It's appreciated, and you're pretty dope for doing it. And I just want to tell you that to your face.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah.
Shannon.
I got the effect that time.
Yeah. The first one was just a warm up, like to see if it was going to come across. See it worked.
Yeah, it didn't, but you tried it.
No, it worked. I just got the stamp for it.
So I'm sure there are small businesses out there that want to reach out to you, that want to try to find out how they can become a part of the SoleGirl market situation, place, location,
all that
house that you have. So how would they reach out to you? How would they, get in touch with you to find out about becoming a part of your business there?
Okay, so I guess this is when I start dropping like names and stuff.
Okay, Shannon.
Right.
So on Instagram, it's SoleGirl Shoe Party, SoleShoe. Hold on now.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Fairmont Heights. HU.
You know. Okay, hold on. Okay, SoleGirl, SoleGirlShoeParty.
There you go.
So am I saying it again? It's the same on Instagram. It's the same on Facebook. Just slide in my DM and connect that way. Let me know what it is that you have in mind. Like I said, I have everything from clothing, waffle batter, cupcakes.
You said clothing and waffle batter. That's
I know, right?
That's like PC repair and pizza.
Right. So I mean, it's a little bit of everything.
That's dope, though. Yeah.
So yes, just reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, email SoleGirlShoeParty@gmail.com, and
get some shit.
I want to ask what specifically, because like you said, there are people who do different parties for things to sell, a market their things. What exactly does a shoe party consist of? Like I know you curate and facilitate them. And different. You say you've done them like all over the East Coast, all up and down.
So I've gone as far as Connecticut to South Carolina. So shoe party is pretty much like a Tupperware party. I bring all the shoes. I have some clothing, some handbags, and you bring your girls, cousins,
and money,
and money,
and your bread,
and right, and you try it on, you like it, it's yours. So that's pretty much it. Everything is pretty much cash, credit, and carry. Okay. So yeah, just I haven't done it in a while, but when I first started, I would do like a signature drink, and we would play games. So yeah. I mean, I'll definitely, if someone wanted me to do one, I would do one. So just hit me up.
Definitely. Of course, it would follow all COVID, yes, regulations. Yes. Everybody would be spread out.
Get you a purple rain mask.
Yeah, those are dope. So do you plan on getting any more of those? Because I know you said you sold out of the purple rain.
I might have to. I'm thinking I might do another Prince print. Yeah. Okay. So it might not be the purple rain.
Got the Lake Minnetonka.
Yes, I'm gonna do
sanitizer.
Right. I might have a whole line.
That's dope. But yeah, so there are a couple of questions that I always ask people. Okay. And the first one is there are a lot of people probably watching this now. Like we have about 2.5 viewers, so that's no.
Yeah, we big time.
But yeah, so and I'm sure that some of them between our lives and our feeds and everything. Maybe aspiring business people, maybe even looking into going into fashion. Mm-hmm. Was there any advice that you got or wish that you got going into it and starting out that you would give to someone now who came to you looking for advice as to what steps to take, what moves to make, things of that nature?
Hire a lawyer. That's it. No, actually, no, but seriously, seriously, if you are serious about your business and you want to make sure that all the T's, like you cross all your T's and dot all your I's, definitely, if not an attorney, I believe some of the stuff can be done by a paralegal, but definitely hire someone to make sure your business is on the up and up and that you're doing things the right way. Because, I mean, it's easy to have the idea and your goal is, I just want to make money. Yeah. But, you know, when county or state start coming or federal start coming after you, you wish you would have done what you needed to do to get that permit or to get, you know, the necessary paperwork. So I would just say if you're serious about my advice, because you can always have it as a hobby. So I would say the first year, you know, see if it's something that you are really serious about and it's something that you think you want to do long term. If after a year you still feel strongly about your business idea, then do what you need to do legally to make it legal. Yeah. So that would be the best advice I can give anybody.
That's very sound advice. And I would add to that a lot of people, money can be prohibitive in some ways. Like a lot of people are afraid of the cost of certain things, and you know, just the idea of hiring a lawyer, you know, is scary to certain bank accounts. But there are things like legal aid, you know, and every city and state has through the Bar Association has legal aid. You find out they usually meet in high schools or libraries. I'm not sure. I think they're doing it virtual now. For a lot of them are doing it virtual now. For
Legal
COVID,
Zoom isn't that bad. I've heard Legal Zoom is actually pretty good as well.
I use them to get my LLC.
See, there you go.
So
another thing I didn't know about Jay.
Well, I mean, the thing is because they offer certain levels of. So it's like they didn't do my whole thing, but the stuff that was like, the initial things and dealing with DC, the city. I paid them to do it. Then, I still had to do the other things myself. So you don't have to get them to do your whole thing. Right. But if there's certain elements of like getting your license in this city or, certain other fees, I let them handle that. But then, I got that paperwork and I still have to go do other steps myself that I was just more familiar with from having another company previously. So yeah, it's just different levels to it. But to your point, it was because there was a lot of legal jargon that I felt like was jamming me up a little bit. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna pay y'all to work that out with, work that out with them, and I'll give you the money, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, definitely. So like I said, sound advice, and the last question that I ask everybody, I'm always interested in the answers that I get because it's pretty introspective. If you had an opportunity to talk to a younger version of yourself, let's say a 13-year-old
Shannon. If you if you could go back in the time machine, knowing everything you know now, having all the wisdom you've accrued through the years, and you know, all of that, if you could go back and have a conversation with yourself, what would it be like? What would you say to her?
Invest in Yahoo, Apple.
Right. Nobody's ever said that. That's
I
hilarious
think that's,
and also very true.
I think that's what I would have told myself. Like, save your money. Don't sign up for that credit card. You do not need those shoes for homecoming. Mm-hmm. I think I would have told myself to just be a little bit more mindful of money. Mm. And I still tell myself that to this day. But I think I would have told myself to be to have a little bit more respect for money, and to know that it doesn't spoil, and that investing is good. So I think that's what I would have told a 13-year-old me. I don't know if I would have listened.
I was gonna say,
I don't think I would have listened, yeah.
But isn't that something? You'd have put it in. It'd have been in the back of 13-year-old you's mind. And
right. Oh, my phone went dead. Okay.
Well, that's the indication.
Well, we almost over anyway.
Yeah, that is coming to that time. I want to thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us, for being the first of our guests to ever have their own intermission. That's a historical moment for the Neighborish live cast.
Yep.
And hopefully it won't happen again, as I won't forget my plug. But through the magic of editing, no one will ever know it happens if they watch it later.
Except if they watch my live.
Well, you know.
We did a whole shit-talking segment on Dave.
My girl was like, he's going full Huey P. Newton. Can you get back in there? Like, all right, I'm going.
Yep.
I'm going.
Oh.
But
I know Shannon was giving me the look like, oh, this nigga. Like,
no,
yeah.
respect.
Sorry, left you alone with them.
You left her in here.
It's my fault. And I also learned today that Jay is a fashionista. I had no idea that he enjoys shopping and
I don't enjoy shopping.
Brunches with the girls and things.
I do enjoy brunches with the girls.
Do you?
Absolutely.
Brunch is fun though. I brunch anyway.
Anything with the girls is fun.
Well, yeah.
Brunch is amazing.
Yeah.
See.
So, all right. With that being said, again, thank you so much for coming through and sharing your awesomeness with us. Definitely check her out everywhere she is. Give us the addresses one more time.
8309 Old Branch Avenue in Clinton, Maryland. I'm there every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the place is available for rental. Like if you want to host a party or your own paint and sip or your own pop-up.
Dope. And is that your location? Like
that's my location.
Wow. That's yeah. So I'm gonna send some business your way because you know some people, and you know some pretty dope people that I know. Like we talked about
Mary.
Well, of course her.
Oh, who?
But no, I was talking about Monique Towns. And
oh yes,
also,
Monique. Yes.
Oh, Candace, who does the jewelry. She follows you, and I believe she's worked with you.
Well, that didn't go how you thought it was.
Yeah, it didn't.
Well, yes, Candace. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right. Yeah. All right. So, and I'll edit that to look good too. Anyway. So yeah, shout out to all of them that work with you. It's dope what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. We're going to post all of your links and stuff. And thank you for coming through and talking to us about how awesome you are and sharing Prince memories with us.
Yes.
And yeah. Oh, Mary told me to ask how you felt about Kamala Harris's Chuck Taylors.
See, I don't think I've ever seen her in Chucks, but I do see her in Timbs.
Were those Timbs? Were those Timbs?
Nah, there were just some blonde boots.
Okay. I was about to say, come on, y'all.
They were some blonde boots. Oh, she black.
They gotta be like, nah, Slim. I'm a fashionista out here, ain't I, Dave?
Yeah,
them joints was not Timbs, bro.
So were they not Timbs? No.
They might not have
but
been.
Timbs does make variations of the butters, but those just didn't even look like the variations either.
Oh, okay. So,
but that's it. Thank you for watching the Neighbors.
Thank you for having me. You guys were awesome.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I don't know how true it is, but
speak for yourself, Dave. Stop speaking for me, brother.
That was all for you. But all right, man. Thank you guys for watching again. This has been another episode of the Neighborish Livecast. We'll be back next week with more great conversations, more interesting topics, more cool people like Shannon. Not exactly Shannon, because she has other things to do next Monday, but we'll find somebody. Yeah. You know. match her awesomeness. But all right, guys, have a great one, and peace.
Peace.
Peace.